called me a loose cannon.
You're getting too involved.
You're
too close to all this. You're going to have to...
Can I talk to you?
All right, David, hang tight.
I'll be
Look, I'm on my way to a Spaulding board meeting.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. With any luck, it'll be my last one. I want to remind you that one of the reasons I invested in your detective agency was I think it's going to be a good investment down the road, but the main reason is I want you to keep an eye on my wife, all right?
I think I'm going to have to keep an eye on both my friends.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right.
Hi. I gotta go.
See you later.
Edward? Ed? Did you remember anything else about that evening?
I've gone over it 1,000,000 times in my mind. I still come up with a blank, so...
Did you tell Eve?
I can't tell Eve. Look, it's obvious. I somehow managed to get myself home.
Ground control to Blake. Can you hear me?
Oh, well, I can hear you. I don't think I can see you. My eyes are so tired. It's all this fine print. Are you lawyers responsible for this?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, why not? They blame us for everything else. Can we take a break, honey? I really need one.
I think I need to resign. Just kidding. Not really. What I really need to do is be out on the field. I should be tracking down these bad guys who hurt Dylan. But no, what am I doing? I'm here with these boring police reports.
Good old Frank.
By the way, Frank is very grateful and says thank you, and so do I.
You're both welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I was right, wasn't it? 99% of detective work is boring, isn't it?
Oh, now I can see you. You look terrible.
Thanks, honey.
Come clean, counselor. What's up?
It's a board meeting that won't happen, and a deal that won't work, or at least it's not working as fast as I want it to.
Everything works for Alex Spaulding.
No, honey. This is the deal that's going to get me out of Spaulding Enterprises. Remember I told you about it?
Oh, yeah, the industrialist, right? Dirk Hiller, yes?
Good. You never cease to amaze me.
Trust me, honey. That deal will come through.
You actually make me believe it's going to happen. And now that Alan's up to his old tricks, it can't happen soon enough.
If I had to put my money on anybody making it, it would be you and Dylan. Even now. Hey, especially now.
I thought I'd find you here.
Yep.
How you doing, Brittany?
I'm doing better now.
She's doing fine.
I better get back.
And how about you?
Hanging in there.
Have you been to a meeting yet?
Quite a few. I'm doing okay.
Good.
How's Blake?
Blake, if you ask her, I would imagine she'd say she's doing great, but I'm not. What I was afraid was going to happen is happening. Alan has started to go after her.
What did he do?
Well, for one thing, he had this elaborate scheme to get me out of town, and when that worked, he lured Vanessa, Alexandra, and Blake to the Spaulding yacht and tried to convince them to sign Spaulding Enterprises back over to him.
I'm crying out loud, Ross. Is Blake all right?
Oh, yeah, she's fine. She's fine. Totally unfazed. In fact, Blake being Blake, I think she's kind of enjoying the challenge.
What are you gonna do?
Well, Alan didn't get these ladies to sign anything, so he's not in a real good mood. So my immediate plan is just to steer clear of him and try and get Blake to do the same. In fact, I've enlisted Frank Cooper to help me keep an eye on her. Also, I am thinking of resigning as attorney of Spaulding Enterprises as soon as I get 1 or 2 more clients.
Well, that's kind of drastic, isn't it?
I know.
I mean, I don't blame you. I want to ask you to do me a favor, Ross.
Of course. What?
You know where Dylan was hit, right?
County Line Road.
So you want to drive me out there?
Why do you want to go out there?
Oh. I just do.
Because their fingers are so fat. Pretty good?
Good. You know something? You haven't said a word since we left the accident site.
Sorry.
I still don't know why we went there, actually. It was so dark, couldn't see anything.
Well, it was dark when the hit-and-run driver was there, too, so we saw what he saw.
Which wasn't much.
Well, we saw the bushes on the side of the road. We saw the traffic sign at the intersection, and then he must have seen Dylan just standing by the side of the road. At which point, he swerves, loses control of the car, hits the accelerator instead of the brakes.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to reconstruct what happened to Dylan that night?
No, I'm just trying to figure out the state of mind of someone who would mow him down.
Very out of it would be my guess.
Yeah, but then afterwards, I mean, you would have had to have known what you had done afterwards. You would have had to have known.
I would think so. Yes, yeah, I would think so. But a lot of people aren't brave enough to turn themselves in after leaving the scene of an accident. Especially the way the press is running with this Dylan Lewis of Lewis oil fame, run down by a drunk hit-and-run driver, seriously injured, possibly blind for life. Ed, maybe you could do something.
What?
I was thinking along the lines of, you know, the press conference you had the other day about Dylan's injuries and everything. Maybe you could do something like that again.
No.
No, I'm thinking of this time you go on the air and you talk directly to the guy who was driving that night. There's no threats. There's no shouting. It's just a direct appeal to this guy to turn himself in and get some help. What do you think?
All right, look, you're right. I'm sorry. I was terrified that I was somehow involved in what happened to Dylan.
Well, I'm glad to be hearing the past tense. What is it that changed your mind?
Because now I know where I was that night. At the time of the accident, I was at home. I was in bed with Eve. We talked about it. She told me there is no way that I could possibly have been involved in the accident.
A woman possessed, excuse me.
I am just so thankful he's alive. You know, if it hadn't been for Eve, I might have lost him.
It's the kind of positive attitude that Dylan needs.
Well, I'm going to take very good care of him.
Good.
I wonder what happened to Vanessa.
Oh,
She
I saw her leave as I was coming in.
Oh, really? Oh, that's strange. Pardon me, I'm going to go say hello to Dylan.
Yeah. Listen, Ross, I have a message from Alexandra.
Oh, Joy, what's it about?
Well, I'm going to tell you on the way, because we're in a hurry. You don't want to miss this.
Now, Susan, dear, I would like you to shake hands with Ross Marler, Spaulding's chief corporate counsel. That's a lawyer, dear. Smart?
How do you do?
Alan Michael, could you excuse us for a moment? Tangy? Yes.
Well, I was wondering the same thing myself. I mean, it's some party, isn't it?
No, I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about months ago. I followed that man that I thought you were dating to this cottage. Did you know Alan back then? No, Tangy, come here. I mean it. You've got to tell me. If this guy, the financier friend of yours, the one that was making you ask me all those questions about Spaulding, if you knew that that was Alan, why didn't you tell me?
Look, I can't really say anything right now.
Okay, so you haven't told Alan Michael this?
No,
Yes.
look, I was going to have this conversation with you, and I want to, but I can't do it right now. Can we do this later, please?
Okay, I can deal with that. Oh,
I've had enough of this circus. Let's go.
good. Grand idea.
See you.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Alex. It's interesting. Bye.
He'll do anything rather than see her hurt.
Vashi Bawa Vahashi.
Fashi Boa Bahashi.
Oh, very good. You even have an authentic accent.
Yeah, sound just like a native. Would be helpful, though, hon, to know what it is I'm trying to say.
Did you have a good trip?
What trip? Oh, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, dear.
Fashi Boa Bahashi.
Oh, you're just gonna make the best karaoke. I can just see you zombieing along the
Copacabana?
Copacabana Beach.
Johnny, you are becoming a walking travelogue for Rio de Janeiro.
Well, it sounds like such a romantic city. A city for lovers, dear.
Yeah, but wait just a minute. All I'm going to do so far is I'm just talking to a potential Brazilian client, okay?
Yeah, who's a fool if he doesn't hire you?
Yeah, well, he wants to hire this particular fool to be his American legal counsel. But that's just, he's interested, that's it.
Well, it's in the bag, dear. You and me and what's his name again?
Dirk Heller.
Dirk?
Yeah.
Heller?
Yeah.
Why does this not sound Brazilian to me?
Because, my dear, he's Danish, all right? And this could be very lucrative for us. We could have very big bucks flowing into the Marler coffers.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Be a lot more fun than staying here and watching Alan and Alex do the dance of the switchblades. I hate being under her financial thumb. Gotta get out of there before they destroy everything around them, including the people they claim to love.
Honey, I know you're worried about me. I know that you're afraid I'm going to get caught in the crossfire, but don't. I won't. Even if I am a trustee for Alan. I do not want to talk about Alan or Alex anymore tonight, okay?
I do not want to talk about Alan or Alex anymore tonight, okay?
Honey, I think this Kataka is really getting me hot. You don't think it's an aphrodisiac, do you?
Only one way to find out.
Say something sexy to me in Portuguese, quick.
Ipanema.
Oh, my God. This is one hot baby. I mean, I wouldn't mind really switching places with Marla for a while.
Focus on your job, Howie. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I was just making an observation about the man's life, that's all I was
Just
doing.
focus on the man's work life in case we encounter any of these people. And, once again, who are they?
Oh, man, I know this. Ross goggles, please. Right there, that's Alexandra Spaulding. That's Nick Spaulding. That's Alan Michael Spaulding. The Spauldings are Ross Marler's #1 client. For the moment.
Bahia. Bellum. Such romantic names.
It occurs to me that you have been reading up on Brazil, where the nuts come from. Does that mean you would be willing to fly down to Rio by the Seal with a little meal?
If nominated, I will definitely serve.
Yeah, good girl. But you know, if this were to happen, it would mean constant trips.
Well, I'm a constant wife, so I'd say that's pretty perfect.
On the other hand, it might not come to anything. But if it does, you can stay home.
I love your sense of humor. I do. That's really cute. You think I would actually let you go alone? You think I would actually sit here in freezing Springfield while you were on the beach cavorting?
Cavort? Me? Bite your fashi.
Oh, yes, dear. Basking in the sun, surrounded by those Brazilian babes with those bathing suits that... What do you call those bathing suits of theirs again? Huh?
Dental floss.
Dental floss. Well, sorry, counselor. You get to floss at home. There is no way I'm letting you go without me. And you're just going to have to tell that Mr. Heller that he has to give you travel allowance for your beautiful wife.
Yes. That's the first thing I'm going to ask.
Good.
You know, because I think it's very important for you to stay out of town for 6 months.
Months? 6 months? Ross, what about my job with Frank? I mean, I do want to travel with you, but I also want to be a private investigator.
Let's not talk about that. It's so strange the way everything has changed in the past few months. My life, certainly. It's changed. It's all for the better. It's all because of you.
All right, Howie, that woman with Susan in there, that's Blake's mother.
Oh, yes, my mother-in-law's a fox. This is too good to be true.
Now, Howie, you're not to concern yourself with that. You're just going to be Marla in business, all right? That's all you have to worry about.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know, all this so-called business has to do with this Spaulding guy's family. That sounds pretty personal to me.
Yeah, well, all you have to worry yourself about right now is becoming Ross Marler for one day.
I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Good.
How about Ross? For just one night. How is the other project coming along, Susan?
Well, we've made some adjustments. Improvements, I hope.
It has to be perfect.
Well, see for yourself. Howard!
Yeah, I know.
Alan. So good to see you.
No,
What's wrong?
it's not perfect. Damn. Not yet.
We found ourselves in your neighborhood, and the light was on, and
Brazil?
I'm sorry, are we intruding?
You planning a second honeymoon?
I would offer you a cachaca.
But there is no more. I drank the last one.
What's on with all the Rio stuff?
Well, I have a business deal in the wind, but I'm a little superstitious. I don't want to talk about it till it's a done deal.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. Time out for girl talk, honey.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Your father and I are deeply concerned about this Allen thing. We would really appreciate it if you would sign the documents.
You actually want me to hand his assets back over to him. You want him in control of Spaulding.
It's not going to happen. Vanessa's not going to sign. Alex is not going to sign. Your signature is a meaningless gesture. It only means it'll get you off the hook with him.
What hook? Alan has been nothing but a perfect gentleman. Although it will be a cold day in hell before I forget the fact that he tried to ice me once.
Ice you?
Well, yeah, it's private eye talk. You know, it means...
I know what it means. It just looks really funny coming out of your mouth.
Well, I walk the walk and talk the talk. But back to Alan, Mom. There is no way he's going to get my signature.
He signs the papers and gets Alan off her back.
Roger, would you please stay out of it?
Yeah, but we both know that Alex isn't going to sign, so where's the harm?
Roger, I'm going to ask you one more time, all right? I will take care of my wife. She will be safe, and Alan will remain powerless.
Ross is a very sophisticated lawyer. He would never extend his hand as if he were some paw of a St. Bernard.
Howard, are you listening?
These are very important notes.
There's much refinement that has to be done. He may have to convince Blake. If he can't, then there's no use for him. Now, go and extend your hand as if you're going to shake it to Howie.
Good night, Rocky. Good night.
Good night, Ross.
Good night, Holly.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. We're not giving up.
Yeah, good try.
You're up awfully early.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that everything was ready for your breakfast with Mr. Heller this morning.
Honey, that's not for hours.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
I woke up with this very odd feeling.
Well, have you had enough coffee to tell me what it is?
It's nothing. It's nothing. Look at the sun. Look at it coming through those clouds. All the colors are the orange and the blue and... Oh, this reminds me of the sunrises we would watch from the deck of our honeymoon cruise. You know, Ross, I really wish that we were in South America right now.
You do?
Yeah.
You weren't quite so sure last night. Did something happen to change your mind?
No. It's nothing, really.
Blake, was it your parents' visit? I mean, one last appeal to get you to sign over Spaulding assets to Ellen?
I am not worried about him. Not one bit.
So, what changed?
I think, it was the look on my mother's face last night. She seemed so scared for me.
Father tried to do the same thing to me.
He did?
Yeah. But I don't think we should let it bother us too much. After all, we're leaving town.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, what if Alan finds out that we might be moving to Rio? Won't he try to stop us?
Gotcha! You've been howied, my friend. And you're dead meat. This thing kicks. You want to play?
No.
Oh, look, the game keeps going even when you don't look at it. All right, now I got my tanks.
Howie,
Yeah.
why don't you take that into the guest room just for a bit, and I'll have a chat with Alan about something.
Yeah. In a minute, Howie will. Right now, I'm real near a record.
Why don't you do it now?
I can do that, too. Oh, man, I rule this game.
It's like having an obnoxious 7-year-old in your house.
Well, I don't think he'll be here much longer. Where's Alan Michael this morning?
He's out. So far, I've managed to keep them from running into each other, although it's been a little tricky at times.
I bet it has. Why don't you suggest he goes to a hotel or something?
No. I can handle it.
All right. Well, I admire your wanting to protect your son from the lower road that you and I seem to be traveling, although I do think he could handle it.
Perhaps. Does our path bother you?
Somewhat. Then I remind myself why we both do it. For our children. And then it suddenly seems all right. Mind you, I don't mind getting my hands dirty if the end justifies the means. I hope it will. I've certainly scratched my way up from the gutter before. I can do it again. And I thought that perhaps my dubious talents had left me, but lo and behold, when I needed it most, it came back. I'm sure Springfield's finest got a real kick out of my being smushed and humiliated after crashing their wonderful party and taking over Spaulding for a while. Yes, that English gutter snipe, she just doesn't have what it takes to mingle with the likes of us. But do you know, I'm going to crash that party one more time. And this time I think I'm going to stay for a while. It'll take a bloody army to push me out this time.
You're a remarkable woman, Jenna. I believe you're more hungry for vindication than I am. That's why we make a good team. Because we both know when you take care of business, the rest will follow.
Which does remind me, this is the bank draft of Spaulding's escrow account, which only Marla controls.
Perfectly forged. Excellent. Not even Ross Marler would know the difference.
Derek, I'm sorry that you have to leave so early. I sure don't want one more cup of coffee.
No, thank you. I really must be going. I look forward to working with you, Ross.
Well, thank you.
And to seeing your lovely wife again.
Well, it's my pleasure.
I'll have my secretary call and make the arrangements for your trip.
Very good, very good.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You got the job!
Not so fast, not so
Day
fast.
Janeiro, and we'll rumba, and we'll samba, and we'll tumba in the bedroom by the sea. You did it.
Honey, I have not been offered the job yet.
What are you talking about? He practically handed the job to you. You know what? We are allowed to get excited about this. We deserve it.
Yeah, you know what? We do deserve it.
Uh-huh.
And something else, this job could be big.
Oh, what are you talking about? Big. This could be huge.
This gets me away from Alexander Spaulding, gets you away from Alan, and the pay's pretty good, too.
Yeah. I know that we've been really short on cash since you invested in Frank's PI business.
I do not regret doing that.
I know you don't, but you did it for me, like you do everything. And I am so grateful. And I'm so lucky. And I'm so happy to have you.
I do things, you know, just to watch you rumba.
I love you so much.
I love you.
You know, this is one thing that we have that Alan will never be able to touch. And that's love.
Yes.
Because we're a team. And I think in our case, you and I, 1 and 1 has added up to much more than 2. Because we're stronger and we're smarter and we're so much happier than Alan will ever be in his life. And I have no idea why I was even nervous about him for a second this morning.
I do.
Hi.
We're not out of town yet, so let's slow down and not underestimate Alan.
right? Now, if it weren't for Dylan's accident and several other complications, I wish we were on that airplane right now.